Hey, raindrops. Yes, welcome, everybody, to another episode of Reality with the King podcast, where we are going to talk about the latest Real Housewives of Atlanta episode, which is episode 3 of season 15. Now, before I start, yes, make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. Do it right now, raindrops. Thank you. And hit what? The notification. Yes. Oh, by the way, I want to give a shout out to a teacher. Now, I don't read all my DMs because unlike Kenya Moore, I do. Hey, Kenya. When y'all send me a DM, unlike Kenya, I don't delete them. I may read a couple of them, but a teacher DM me. She's a raindrop. She said, Carlos, I love you. I love you. She said, but as a teacher, it bothers me that you say notification. She said, I need to know if you are doing this on purpose or you really know the proper pronunciation is notification. So, because one of my raindrops is a teacher, I will address her first. So, yes, I am fully aware, okay, that is notification. I'm aware. I said this before and I'll say it again. You say tomato, I say tomato. You say vase, I say vase. Y'all say notification, I say notification. I'm not uneducated. I'm very smart. I did go to school. I'm a journalist. Hey, Portia and Tamar Braxton. I am educated. So to the teacher who DM'd me, I wanted to respond to you publicly. So let me know in the comments, teacher, that you heard this message from me because this is my response to you. Okay. I got that out the way. For some reason, I'm having a really good time because this episode to me wasn't a great time. But I really want to talk about it because, again, I want to hear from y'all of what y'all think. I gave the first episode an A minus. A lot of y'all disagree with me, which is fine. I thought it was a good first episode. I even said for the second episode, you know what? I'm not gonna grade it. I want y'all to grade it first because I never want people to think that I sway my raindrops to grade an episode based on my expert opinion. Okay. So I'll give y'all my grade now for the second episode. To me, it was a C plus. This episode tonight, I'll give y'all my grade at the end. Let's just get into what needs to be talked about. Now, y'all know when it comes to my recaps, I'm not recapping every single scene unless it's worthy of recapping. I'm not into listen, the episode did not get good to me until the end, and even that's a stretch. So it opened up with Sheree and the girls talking, recapping BravoCon and Martell and stuff. Okay, whatever. Then we had Candy talk to Don Juan about what Mama Joyce said at BravoCon, which, look, I'm going to say this much. I said in my first episode recap, the story of Candy and Todd going through their marital woes, we've seen it. And unless y'all disagree with me, I feel like we've seen that storyline. So I'm not interested in seeing it being revisited. We've seen it before. So then tonight with the Mama Joyce thing about her not liking Todd and dissing Todd, I don't think we care. I don't think we care. Because let me tell y'all what it is. When you have something that occurred on this show that was so iconic and legendary, Mama Joyce season 6 solidified her as one of the most iconic to this day. Between Mama Joyce and Mama D and Mama Jones, Jim Jones' mama, and you know Miss Wanda, honey, on Love and Marriage Huntsville, I would say out of all those mamas, to me, Mama Joyce will go down as the GOAT of mothers on reality television because it was rooted in reality. And she was so funny without trying to be funny. We're talking about a woman who sang Diana Ross and the Supreme song. Ain't no mountain high enough. Ain't no valley low enough for me to get in your ass, baby. Who says that? This woman took her wedge heel off to knock Carmen and one of Candy's wigs on top of her head, allegedly. We're talking about that Mama Joyce. Mama Joyce is the first mother of Housewives history to be invited to a reunion. Mama Joyce is iconic. So for me to watch a scene tonight of a Mama Joyce set up BravoCon, it's like, look, if she ain't trying to top that, I just think we've seen it. And that happened 9 years ago. Look, I think we all know they will never be, meaning we know that Mama Joyce and Todd would never see eye to eye. And that's fine. We've accepted that. I need for y'all to accept the fact that we do not care about this storyline. We don't care about it. We need something new when it comes to that. What else is going on? What else? What else? Like, is there something going on with the father? Where's Block? Like, I need something. I need something. Because this is nothing. I need something. And that ain't it. So then we saw Drew in the studio. I like Drew. Are we invested in Drew Sidora trying to be the next Ashanti? I don't know. I mean, rain on me. What are we doing? Foolish? I don't. I don't know. I don't know. I don't. This is what's interesting. And this is why I think a lot of people are saying that when it comes to Atlanta Housewives, they're wondering two things. One, if the show should only be about the OGs, Nene, Sheree, Kim, Kenya, Candy, bring back Phaedra, Portia. Because when you have a show that's been on for 15 years, Atlanta Housewives will always go down as the most iconic housewives in history. It will be. But the problem that I saw tonight's episode that I'm getting a sense is going to be what the rest of the season is like. I think the personal stories are thin. Like a wheat thin. Okay? Yes, the cracker. I think the storylines are thin. Okay? Kendall Jenner thin. There's not enough meat on the bones. Okay? Because I don't feel like, and y'all tell me if I'm wrong, I don't feel like any of the peach holders outside of Sheree Martell, honestly, and that's what I said. I said this Sheree Martell thing is interesting because we get to see Sheree in a relationship with a guy who's on reality television, who's on the #1 show on OWN, and that's interesting. They're both They're both social media fodder. They both were trending today on a Sunday. Well, yeah, they both were trending all weekend. So it goes to show you that people are invested. Outside of that, I don't feel like anyone has a personal storyline that has meat on the bones. Because we know now that Drew Sidora and Ralph filed for divorce, we're not seeing any signs of them in a bad place. And that show tapes for like 3 to 4 months. There's no way you're married that long as they've been married. And you're filming for 3 to 4 months and you file for divorce after you wrap filming. Something must have happened within that time frame. And the reason why people are calling Drew the actress, that's what Sonya called her tonight. It goes to show you that are we not getting what's real? I just feel like we're not getting real personal story that is unique and different. I really want to know what's going on with Kenya and Mark Daly. I want to know what's going on with the divorce proceedings. I would have loved to see Kenya have a meeting with her lawyer. We were interested in Kenya and Mark's relationship because of the dynamics of it. So when we saw him call her Ken, we were like, yo, Kenya's very different around this man. And because they're going through a divorce, we don't get to see no conversations about this. We can't see Kenya talk to Aunt Lori. We can't see Kenya talk to her cousin Shay. We can't see her best friend Brandon fly from LA to be with his girl and say, yo, what's going on? And Kenya cry and emote and saying, I can't believe that I had a lot of first, my first marriage and my first baby, and now I'm going through my first divorce. Carlos King, bitch, you are good. That was good. Pat on the back, good. Pat on the butt, football player, good. I would have done that. I would have said, Kenya, express to Brandon. Because what y'all don't know is in real life, Kenya and Brandon are brother and sister. Like they're very close. Kenya and Brandon talk every day. I talk to Kenya once a week. Listen, me and Kenya are so close that I know that something's going on there. But I also know Kenya is somebody who will give it to you if you ask her. Why are we getting anything with Kenya Mark Daly? Why aren't we getting... I would have done a scene where I would have sat down with Sheree and said, I need some advice on what to do when you're going through a divorce. Because this man is allegedly trying to ask me to pay for alimony. He wants alimony. I would sit down and talk to Candy about the prenup her and Todd have and say, where did I go wrong? That's the personal story we're missing. And we're not getting that. Instead, we get Kenya talking about a DM with Martell that happened 3 years ago when he was on my podcast and y'all blacked out my name in the DMs. Y'all so worried about that we missing personal story with Kenya. Anywho, what else happened? Child, okay, so then Courtney. Okay, let's talk about Miss Courtney. My friend Jasmine Henley Brown, who I recapped the first episode of Atlanta Housewives with, she said that Courtney was a chop. She said, honey, Courtney is a what? Chop. Now look, I wouldn't say she's a chop. She may be a pork chop. When I say pork chop, you know, on the pork chop, it has that fat meat towards the end. And when you push it, juice come out because it's a thirsty It's a thirsty element, the pork chop. That's who Courtney is to me. She's the thirsty meat on the pork chop. So I don't think she's a chop. She's a juicy pork chop. She's filled with substance that needs to be leaked because she is thirsty. Now, I always told you guys, I don't mind thirsty. I don't like dehydrated. I don't think Courtney is dehydrated. Courtney is somebody that has a lot of personality, but she needs to be steered in the right direction. And I feel like Courtney has studied seasons 1 through 14 and has come on the show saying, I know who I need to be. This whole thing with Candy and the ghetto thing, we saw that season 2 when Nene first met Candy, and Nene said, she's a little bit ghetto to me. You know, hood. Nene said it. And then Candy said, you the ghetto's one of us all, Nene. And Nene said, excuse me? Clutch diamond choker? So we've seen it. So to tell a story about how Courtney thinks Candy's ghetto, it would only be interesting if Candy wasn't called ghetto by the greatest housewife of all times. We've seen it. So when I watch it tonight, I was like, what in the revisionist history is going on here? I've seen this play out, and I know how this is going to end. And I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. So anyway, so they're at Drew's performance with Candace Diller-Bassett. Hey, Candace. Candace is a friend of the Raindrops and Reality with the King. We love Candace. Love seeing Candace. So then Drew hopped on stage and gave a little 1-2 as if she was auditioning for the Pussycat Dolls, because as we know with the Pussycat Dolls, you don't sing, you lip sync. Allegedly. Because Nicole Scherzinger wants to be the only one singing. So Drew Sidora gave an old Pussycat Doll performance of 2.5 seconds, which was a waste of time, but hey, it is what it is. Then you had Monyetta try to check Marlo. Now, I want to say this for the record. I know Monyetta personally, and I love Monyetta. Me and Monyetta are cool. I love Monyetta. Let me tell y'all what's happening, okay? And Monyetta, when I say this, don't get offended. I love you, but I got to keep it real. And you should come on my podcast to talk about it. Monyetta is Candy's puppet. Are y'all shocked by this revelation? Or did it take me to articulate it for y'all to say, that's what it is? It's giving puppet master. That's what it is. So let me tell you what happens. Come here. Raindrops, listen up. Reality TV 101. When you have a main cast member bring on a friend, and the friend gets into it with the main cast member's arch nemesis, that friend is a puppet. That friend is there to do the main cast member's dirty work. So remember how the housewife used to say that Marlo was Nene's puppet? Right? Okay. Remember Marlo used to come in and bam, 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 everybody in Nene's direction. Anybody that Nene had an issue with, Marlo used to read them from Kenya. Okay. Marlo used to read everybody Nene had an issue with. And what would Nene do when Marlo used to read her arch nemesis? This would be Nene. Because Nene was like, you're doing your job and I'm going to sit here and act innocent. I'm going to tell you how it works. That's how it works. When I was producing the show, anytime a main cast member would bring a friend on, this would be me. Hey, how's it going? I'm good. You good? Okay, girl. So he's about to put a mic on you. Okay. Who's this? Oh, it's my homegirl. Tell your homegirl, girl, go home. Because I'm not paying her. I'm paying you. She's not here to do your dirty work. Well, she knows some things about some people. If she knows things about people, clearly that means you know them. So why can't you go on camera with your fellow main cast members and tell them what you've been told? I mean, I don't want my fans to make it seem like I'm messy. I'm telling y'all how it works in reality TV. Whenever you watch a reality show, pay attention. When a main cast member brings a friend on, and that friend immediately starts getting into it or starts an argument with the main cast member's arch nemesis, it's because the main cast member prepped them. Allegedly. And I love Monyetta. I'm going to tell you what Monyetta is doing. And I love her. Monyetta, come on the podcast and we can talk about it, sis. I called Brandy Maxwell Aggie from Basketball Wives, and what'd she do? Hey, Carlos, I want to come to your podcast and talk about it. Okay, let's talk about it. Why you call me Aggie? Because you are. You know? And we had a good time. I like it when the reality start, don't take it personally, unlike some of you Potomac girls. Carlos trying to I'll get into that later, child. So Monyetta, come on the podcast, sis. But Monyetta, I think we all can see that you're the puppet because Monyetta, who I love, when you get a taste, I'm talking to the raindrops. So raindrops, when a reality, let me back up. When a person gets on reality TV and they audition as a friend of, they really are trying to be themselves. Unfortunately, in this day and age, you have one time to make fetch happen. And that's why raindrops, you see a lot of these new potential cast members act dehydrated because they have to get a moment or else you will call them boring. They're damned if they do, they're damned if they don't. If they be themselves, they're boring to y'all. If they act a fool, they thirsty and dehydrated. So that's what's going on. Monyetta last season, I know Monyetta. That's who Monyetta really is. Who y'all saw last season, that's Monyetta. Monyetta is a sweetheart. Everybody in Atlanta loves Monyetta. Monyetta has no enemies. Monyetta literally is the most likable person in Atlanta. Everybody loves her. So who she gave y'all last season, that's who she is. Now, y'all called her boring. So Monyetta read the comments, like all reality stars do. And when she was forced to come back this when she was forced to come back this season, honey, to redeem herself, she knew that she had to be more than what she was last season, which is why she's saying, I do have a voice. I got a voice, and I'm going to use it. That's why Marlo gave her nothing. Because Marlo was like from one puppet to another. Marlo said, look, bitch, I am a former puppet of Nene Leakes. I love you, Marlo. But Marlo, You know what it was, sis. Marlo's looking at her like, I know what you're doing. You need a moment. And you're trying to make me have an argument with you. And it's not going to work. And it didn't work. It fell flat. It fell flat. Flat tire on the highway flat. It fell flat. Just saying. It fell flat. And that's because Marlo said, I'm not giving this to you. I know what you're trying to do, and it's not going to work. So then Monietta's like, well, damn. I'm trying to get a peach here, and Marlo ain't giving me nothing. So that's what happened, Raindrops. Thank you. Now, Juiceadora, because this is what happened. So everybody's like this. Okay, is it going to be Marlo versus Monyetta? And then when Marlo gave Monyetta nothing, they said, so nothing's going to happen? Because the Courtney and Candy thing fell flat. Damn. What else we got? Okay, so let's get shut up. Stop. Okay, let's get Marlo versus Monyetta. Damn, that fell flat. What we got? Drew, can you ask Candy about the shootings? Do I have to? Drew, you just got back to work because you took off 2 weeks because you wanted to renegotiate your contract. So you got to do it. I mean, I don't feel like it. Do I got to say shooting? Girl, just say something. Okay. So then Drew gave you a good old moment of season 7, Atlanta Housewives, when Cynthia and the girls, all the housewives, Demetria and Claudia included, they all went to a restaurant because Cynthia was supposed to drop the bomb that Phaedra was allegedly having an affair with Mr. Chocolate. So remember, Cynthia's job that night was to reveal it. But Cynthia got intimidated. Listen to my interview with Cynthia. I'm going to post that too, the video of it. So anyways, and Cynthia was struggling getting the message out. Phaedra. And remember, Nene looked at her and was like, bitch. So then Nene went in her interview and said, Cynthia looks ridiculous. She's like, Phaedra, I need to. Honey, that was Drew tonight. Drew was like, Candy, there was an, what's that word? I can't see it. Oh, there was an incident at Blaze. Can you talk about it? I got that out. I did my job. I got that out. Honey, this was Candy. That's a legal matter. Candy looked at her and said, that's a legal matter. So then I'm about to put y'all up on game. That's why Marlo peeped game and was like, what incident you mean? You mean shooting? Like, are you going to say the S word? Not S-H, boop, T. Are you going to say the S word shooting? Because in this case, the S is not silent. It's shooting. Bang, pow, 357 Magnum, block. Marlo's like shooting. Not shooting like you're filming something for Lifetime. Shooting. And Candy. Well, let's talk about the woman whose face you slashed. I thought that was a cute comeback. What y'all think? I thought it was a cute comeback. I was like, okay, I ain't mad at that. Right? So then Marlo once again is like, girl, you want a moment, and I'm not gonna give it to you. And then Marlo goes, oh, yes, that happened 15 years ago, whatever, which is true. Listen, one thing about Marlo is going to always spill her own tea before you do it. Now, there's a lot of debate whether or not Candy should express more of what happened in the shooting. I did say that because it's a legal issue, you got to be very careful what you say because they can use it against you in the court of law. That's why Erica Jane on Beverly Hills Housewives was crying when Garcelle was spilling her tea of what Erica told her about how Tom Girardi still calls her. Because trust and believe, the police and the feds are watching these shows. And what you say, they're writing it down. So I do understand what Candy is coming from in terms of I can't talk about it a lot. Now, I do think there's a balance. I do think what Candy should have done is meet with your attorney and say, what can I say? Because I'm on this TV show looking stupid. So what can I say? And I think the lawyer said, you can say 1, 2, and 3. Okay, say 1, 2, and 3. Okay, cool. Hopefully that may happen later this season. So I understand why Candy isn't saying much because she doesn't want to get in trouble. So I am on her side when it comes to that. I won't say anything either. I don't say anything about my business when y'all be begging me to. No, I ain't saying nothing. Bye. What I say will be on reunion shows, honey. Anywho. So then that fell flat. And they were like, we wasted our time here. Nothing happened. This is crazy. And what was weird to me, didn't we see in the super trailer that when they were at this event, that Candy got into Marlo's face? Did I make this up? I could have sworn I saw in the super trailer that when they were at this scene, Candy got in Marlo's face. Why wasn't that shown? Again, am I tripping? Am I making this up? Raindrops, let's investigate. Okay? Dateline NBC style. So then after that, they go 10 minutes after we wrapped, and then we see Marlo and Drew have a conversation. So the reason why Marlo was upset, let me explain it to y'all. I'm going to tell y'all something that I do know. And I can say this because it ain't major tea, but I'll just say it anyway. A lot of the girls feel that this is how they feel. They feel like when it comes to Candy's businesses, they feel like she's protected. They feel like we can't come for her business. That's how they feel. So when you saw Marlo talk to Drew about it, that's where Marlo was coming from. Marlo wanted Drew to say the word shooting. And she noticed that Drew chose the word incident. And Marlo was mad about it. Again, because that's a legal situation, I once again understand why Candy can't say anything. And I also think this is what Candy should do. I think Candy needs to say, hey, I understand that you guys want to know more. And trust me, I want to say everything to you guys. Unfortunately, I am being advised not to utter a word for the safety of my employees and the case. But I promise you all, once we get past this, I will tell y'all everything. Carlos King, there you go again producing. Bitch, you better. I would have said that to Candy, like, can you at least say that? And I think the girls would have been like, okay, cool. It's that simple. Is that simple. But that's when you have to really work with your talent and say, you got to give something. And I would have said that. Me. Just saying. So Marlo is mad at Drew because she felt like Drew didn't push the issue harder. And that's why listen, when Marlo was freaking out the end, some of y'all said she was performing. Some of y'all said it was real. Look, her cousin, well, it was her cousin or nephew, I think. Her nephew got shot. And that is a horrible, beyond a horrible situation. And one thing about Marlo is a lot of things. She's performative. She does the most. She's over the top. But one thing I will say, the Marlo I know personally, when it comes to family and friends she loves, like family, Marlo is very sensitive. Very sensitive. So I don't think Marlo was acting or trying to get a moment. Marlo is very, very sensitive when it comes to anything happening to her family. She really is. And I will vouch for her for that. She's very sensitive. So I thought that was a real moment. And my prayers go out, obviously, to Marlo, the nephew, and everybody involved who was involved in that unfortunate shooting at the restaurant. That's not something to joke about. It's a really bad situation, and I'm hopeful that everybody heals from that. Like, that's really how I feel. So, look, the grade I'll give this episode, I'll give it a C. A C. What do y'all get it? Does the C stand for Courtney? I give it a C. I give it a C. But tell me what y'all think. Look, we're only 3 episodes in. It's still early. It's still early. I think we have maybe 13 more episodes to go, so we'll see. But like I said, I want to see some really deep personal story, and I feel like I'm being robbed of that. But let me know in the comments. And once again, make sure you like and subscribe. And to my teachers all over the world, hit the notification button. Are you happy? Are you happy? Hit the notification button, and I'll see y'all soon.